The Mike and Tony Show is intended for a mature audience. Listener discretion is advised.
Yeah, that just experiment with some new songs, and that one feels like we're reviewing something, Pierce, as it slowly fades in the background. This week we're looking at Luigi's Pizza downtown. It's episode 231. 231 times we have sat down with these microphones, my friend. In fact,
it's probably been more than that. We do have a couple of lost episodes.
We do. We lost episode 5.
Yeah.
Was it 5? And what was? There was another one, right?
It was the same person, I think.
Fuck.
Wasn't it?
Oh, was it? That's terrible.
I think it was the same
That's
person.
not what you want. Do them wrong. They're never coming back on the show just for that. No, it's a Saturday morning. It's just you and me this morning, chilling. It has been a crazy week. You've been out of town. I'm getting eaten alive by allergies along with quite a few other people. I mean, just like I woke up with just my swollen left eye. I'm like, here we go again. You know what sucks is being a teacher and you're like, I can't wait for summer. And then the spring and summer hits. Every summer, I'm just like
it's miserable.
like a disaster. Yeah, a lot of shit in the air. But how are you? How was your week? You were out of town, right?
Yep. I was up in Breckenridge at the annual CAFA conference. I was assuming my role as the new president of CAFA.
The CAFA,
it's the Colorado Association of Financial Aid Administrators.
The CAFA King.
Yeah, as I said, I'm King CAFA.
King CAFA.
King CAFA. That's what I'm the new incoming president. Well, yeah, I am the now president of CAFA. So
yeah,
I got big plans this year, Dollar.
Yeah,
I'm like like I said, they get probably tired of me saying it, but I want to bring it back to the glory days, man, of when we were a giant. We're still one of the biggest associations, regionally here, but I want to bring it back to the glory days where we were doing activities like all the time, like Rockies games, and being, more of a presence to the institutions around the state.
Right.
And so, and that's my plans. And
hell yeah, got a vision.
Got a vision, Dollar.
Fuck yeah,
I'm gonna do it.
I love that, brother.
Yeah, but it was great. On Tuesday, I might have had a little bit too much fun. On Tuesday night, like we didn't go to bed until like 3:30.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
Oh shit! I don't remember what day. It was just a couple days ago. Was that why you went to bed early? You went to bed uncharacteristically early one night. Remember, because I texted you, and then the next day that was like Wednesday or Thursday or something.
Wednesday, yeah.
Wednesday, okay.
Wednesday, yeah.
Yeah. So what were you doing?
So
just partying?
Tuesday we were just partying, having a good time, dude. Like we were there before everybody, just getting everything set up. But yeah, it was. And the other thing too that happened, we also came together. We needed to party that night because that morning, unfortunately, our conference chair, she preloaded everything into her car the night before, so that way in the morning she can take off. To Breckenridge, right? And then be ready to go. She got to her car, Dollar. Everything was stolen out of her car.
Oh, no.
So all of our stuff that was donated by people, like the Colorado Ballet, like Denver Museum of Natural, of Art, of Naturalist Museum.
That shit was all in there?
Yeah, that was all in there, and they stole everything, dude. Even our decorations.
Cameras? Is there cameras out there?
Even on our decorations for the conference, they stole our fucking decorations.
Petty motherfucker. They're just taking everything.
And our name tags. And our conference name tags, like everything that we had in there.
Bro.
And so like I was planning on leaving on that Tuesday morning, like at 9:00 in the morning. Like, okay, get up there, get ready to go, get set up. That way I can work a little bit while I'm up in Breckenridge, because at the same time, it's not just, I'll just all play up there. So I was going to work during the day, and then all of a sudden the current president calls me and she's like, tells me the situation. I'm like, oh shit.
Oh no.
And so we all had to scramble, find decorations real quick, and get some auction items, because that was another thing. When we do our conference, we get auction items from everybody. We rely on donations, and at the conference we put those things up for a silent auction. And what we do is we choose a philanthropy project that we go with local to that area. And this particular time it was Treetop, and they help out with children of victims of child abuse and sexual
Oh,
abuse,
nice.
sexual and child abuse. And so it was a great institution. We were like, no, we need to have stuff, and so on and so forth. And so, yeah, we all scrambled. We did it. We got 12 auction items.
That's incredible.
Up there,
Pivoted.
with the work of everybody. It's awesome just to show like the community that we have in that little area. But yeah,
it's crazy to think with all the technology we have in 2025 that people still can steal like that. And there's no cameras; they just happen to be.
Yeah, and there's the other thing too. She's in a parking garage. And I guess it's.
Yeah,
it's
I would think those
before.
have cameras.
Yeah, so
No cameras, and it's happened before.
yeah.
They need to get some cameras. Yeah. Listeners, we're all going to pitch in. We need you to send money to.
We
these
joked
guys some
around.
fucking
We joked around that
cameras.
there's going to be some fucking homeless person on the side of the road with like our CAFA stuff, just like like name tags on
Just
and shit like
swagged
that.
out, like-
Yeah, motherfuckers.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
that's unfortunate.
I mean, everything, dollar. They took our table runners, like our banners, that say CAFA on it and everything, dude. Like,
Trying to think what people are going to do with that. Are they-
right? What do you do with that shit?
Maybe they're just moving so fast, trying not to get caught, and so they just grab everything. It's just a fucking.
Yeah,
smash
well,
and
and they
grab.
left a disco ball.
What did they do? Break the window? What, by the
It
way?
was they popped the trunk.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but yeah, but they did leave a disco ball for us. So thank you.
Yeah. Thanks, guys. Thanks. Very considerate.
Assholes.
Damn, that sucks. It sucks when people just take your shit.
Yeah.
Or you know what? This is kind of sort of related, but not really. What I think is staplers. Staplers, they're kind
They
of
just go missing.
Yeah, they go missing. That happens as well. But being a teacher, so there's staples in copiers, right?
Yep.
So you can like run a bunch
Collate.
of packets.
And
Yep,
collate
they can
them.
collate. You can have them
Yep.
stapled and everything come out. But oftentimes, just like the toner, just like everything, we run a lot of fucking copies. So sometimes there's no stapler. So they have this stapleless stapler. Have you ever seen that?
Stapleless stapler.
It basically like stamps like how my knuckles. I'm putting my knuckles like grooves. Like
It
it
just smashes the paper
smashes
together.
it together,
Okay.
so it sticks together, but very cheaply.
Yeah.
And it comes apart very. We're talking
I'm
about
sure.
middle school kids,
Yeah.
right? And it drives the kids crazy. They're like, "Mister, why didn't you put staples?" And so this year, I had a stapler that's provided by my school.
Okay.
Gone, just fucking vanished.
Yeah.
Then I bought a stapler myself, and got broken. Got a second stapler.
Yeah.
Got broken. So then, and I've been fighting it for a while now. And then I was like, you know what? I need a solid stapler for the classroom. It's a staple. We need it. Pun intended, by the way. I don't know if you caught how clever that was. So I bought another one, brought it in. This is 2 days ago. The first fucking kid I handed it to staple his packet because I had stapleless packets or whatever, jammed it up so bad. I don't know what this kid did. I was fucking just teasing him. I was burning him for like 2 days after this because there was like 7 staples stuck in it.
What?
You push and it like doesn't go all the way or something. And it was like, he just kept, and he was like, "Mister, how does this thing work?" And I was like, "You just push down on it. No. I opened it up and like the spring popped out and then the metal part fell out. And I was like, are you kidding? Dude, I spent like an hour of my off period watching YouTube videos just trying to get it back together. Man, it's
fuck
fucked.
it. Fuck it. Yeah.
It's fucked.
Is it
It's like $30-something, bro.
Was it a swing line?
Yeah.
Oh, it was a swing line.
Yeah, it's a swing line, the good ones, not the cheapy ones.
Yeah.
Like the
Do you know
the
how
nice-
old we sound? We know the name brands of fucking staplers. I only know that because of Office Space swing line.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But you know what you need, Dollar? You actually need that big fucking one that has the handle.
I know.
That's
I know a lot of teachers
that
have
one.
that.
That industrial one is not fucking up.
Yeah, it's
Nobody's
indestructible.
fucking that one
I
up.
feel like just the design of those staplers that they do get broken so easily. They jam really easily, and if you don't pause immediately and like be very delicate and just fix the situation, it's fucked. And with middle school kids,
See, that
they
kid is
just-
probably like also the multi-clicker that freezes up the computer. You know what I'm talking about? Like it clicks one, click,
It's not working. It's not working.
People that do that shit drives me crazy. It's like click, and they're like, "Oh no, it's not working. Let me click it some more. Click, 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 click." You're like,
Fucking just locks up on you.
yeah,
You did this.
waiting for a response. Waiting for a response.
No, I don't have to do that. Everything fucks up on me no matter what I do, bro.
There are those people. I forget what it's called. There's a fun fact way back in the day. Remember that are electronically challenged. They carry like different electrons in their body where everything they just fucking touch
I don't remember that.
zaps that. Yeah.
That's 100% me. It's 100% me. In fact, when I was yesterday, I was in here doing music, which I want to talk about a little bit. But I just one of those things where I had everything kind of going at once, and literally all I did was touch that camera right there.
Yeah.
I was like, "What?" And I felt it go, and the whole thing blacked out. It shut the monitor off.
You've done that before with us too. Before, remember? I think you moved your keyboard or something one time.
Yes.
And everything said zoom.
Yes. And for me, but there's a lot of times, particularly since the new studio setup. Whoa, we had a dog bark and a voice crack at the same time. I don't know what's going on with my voice. I don't know if it's the allergies or what. My voice cracked like 3 times teaching this week.
Peter Brady, you're going through puberty. You're going to adult puberty now, Dollar. You're getting a deeper voice.
Come back next year like this. Fucking second puberty.
I don't even know what the fuck I was talking about. Yeah, staplers, all kinds of shit.
You were talking about the how you fucked up.
I just have electric. Yeah, I have like electrical current flowing through my body or something. I also shock people all the time.
Yeah,
I go to kiss my daughter on the forehead, and she's like, "Ah, Dad." I don't know what that is. I don't know why.
I'm trying to look it up right now.
Yeah, see if you can find that fun fact. But you know what I was going to talk about is I'm fully getting back into music. We're winding down the end of the school year. I've literally got 4 weeks left, or less than that, 3 weeks, something like that. So it's about to be summer. I'm creating a new schedule for myself. I'm stepping down from leadership this next year. So my summer's going to start a little earlier than it usually does, which is nice. But I started recording again, and I made a bold decision, Pierce.
What's that?
I'm not doing any old songs. I tend to recycle songs or they haven't been recorded properly. I'm writing all new material. I'm going to release a full-length album at the end of summer. I've already started in the studio. I got a great track, which is why we're trying different songs for the show. Where's the fucking camera? Where am I? Right there. Yeah, we're trying. I forget because we have too many now. We got the one over here, one over here, one over here. Yeah. All kinds of cameras. So we got the guest cameras. Look at all that. All at my disposal over here, Pierce. But yeah, no. So I started recording yesterday, and I just decided I was like, fuck it. I need the fresh start. I think what's stopping me, why I'm so stagnant, is I'm tired of playing the old shit.
Yeah.
I'll still do it live. That's never going to change. When you have a body of work that you've created, you still always share it. But in the studio, I'm just excited by starting from scratch.
Yeah.
Blank piece of paper.
There you go.
Nothing, bro.
Yeah.
Just let's come up with something.
You did worry me because I was like, you're like, I'm not going to do any of the old stuff. I was like, but some of the old stuff is good when you do it live.
It is. No,
I like when you do the cover of the What's My Number?
5446. Yeah, I do. I like that one too. Yeah. No, I've started rehearsing again. You can see I've got the loop pedal and everything set up over here. Been putting in the work, and it's one of those things. It's like lifting weights, when you don't do it for a while. When you get back in, it comes back pretty quick. You're like, okay, whew, I thought I lost all my talent for a minute. She's like, no, you work a lifetime for that shit, so it accumulates. So I'm just really excited. I'm going to start posting updates and sharing little tidbits here and there as it goes. I am following the Chat GPT schedule.
There you go.
Which it's so nice to have something like that just can organize things for you and be like, boom, here's how you get to where you're going, and then you just need to stick to it and that kind of thing. So I'm just excited to be recording again. It's gonna be cool. I'm excited for you to hear some of the tracks too. I'm gonna send to you. And Jillian is gonna sing on this first one. I did. She's gonna do some backup vocals on the chorus. Yeah.
So we got anything set up for summer yet?
A gig wise?
Yeah.
No live shows. It's kind of a secondary thought for now. But even once school starts next year, I'm still going to be able to gig. I'm in a different situation. This is going to be a whole nother thing for me.
Not going to do that leadership thing. You're not going to.
Yeah. I'm just really excited. Getting my bike tuned up. I'm going to start riding my bike to work.
You're like in and out.
Yeah. Well, it's just funny because I've gotten so over the last 6 years of working where I work, I get more and more work piled on all the time. Every year I take on something new. It started with just and doing my education at the same time. So it's basically 6 years of just a fucking tornado of going a million miles a minute, constantly adding more work. But in those 6 years, I got so used to more work than I could do that my efficiency has gone through the roof, Pierce.
Yeah.
My basic teaching responsibilities, I will not, next year, I don't foresee myself working from home almost at all. Occasionally on a weekend, I might take some grading home. But I'm not going to be the same nutcase I've been, just working around the clock, working at 3 a.m., doing all this wild shit. Did you find that fun fact? You are really...
No. Well, yeah, I did find that one fun fact. Well, it's named a couple of different things, like the Techromancer's curse.
Yeah, that's me. Whatever that is.
Yeah, or the electromagnetic human.
Technomancer. That word sounds like old as shit.
Yeah, well, it's like necromancer.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Oh, that's where I
Yeah.
recognize that from. Okay.
Or you're a technophobe, but you're not afraid of technology.
No, I love technology.
Yeah, so it's not you. You're just the techromancer's church. It's just,
I just have issues that every
you
time
have it's basically a magical anti electricity touch.
Yeah, it really is. It's literally physical sometimes, but it's also just like I have errors that even the tech guy at work, he sees my computer, and every time it's like the same kind of reaction. I've never seen anything like this. I don't know. It looks like it should be working. I don't know. Let's try resetting. We'll just have to get you a new computer. I really don't know. They always give up. Like I don't know what happened. Like it's just me, dude.
That was my my friend Jeff growing up. We always used to joke around with him that he couldn't touch things. Just die.
Yeah. Yeah, some of us are just like that, unfortunately. Hey, there's a new pope.
Yeah,
You see that?
he's American.
Yeah, an American pope. He's dual citizen. Where's the other? It's
Vatican City.
no. Where's the other? He's got dual citizenship. United States and was it Peru? Oh man, I can't remember now.
I know that he's a Cubs fan.
Yeah,
So
people
I know
just constantly.
I know Fran is probably happy about that.
Is Fran a Cubs fan?
Oh yeah, he's a big time Cubs fan.
I didn't
Him
know
and his
that.
dad. Yeah,
Mhm. Oh, his dad's a Cubs fan.
yeah,
Okay. Yeah, Pope Leo the 14th, right?
yeah.
Seems like a cool dude. No, but he's it's a South American country. I want to say Peru, but I can't remember.
Let's look here.
It wasn't Ecuador. It wasn't. I'm trying to think of other Central American countries. But either way, also I saw he gave his like initial little speech thing. Did the shit in Italian. Dude is fluent in like multiple.
Yeah, you're right. Peru.
Oh, it is Peru.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, he speaks multiple languages, dude.
Well, I mean, yeah.
Like fluently, like super fluently. Because I knew he was totally fluent in Spanish. I knew he was fluent in English. And then somebody said he's fluent in like 5 languages. And then the next thing I know, I see him is doing his speech in like perfect Italian.
Yeah.
And I'm like, damn, this guy.
Born Robert Francis Prevost
Yeah.
in Chicago. He has dual citizenships in both the United States and Peru. He became a naturalized Peruvian citizen during his decades-long missionary service in Peru, where he served as the bishop there.
Yeah, I mean, he seems like a good dude. It's hard to know, hard to say. I did see the LGBTQ, some organization associated with them came out and was like saying that they were happy with him with some of the initial comments he's making about how it's important to be accepting of one another, and it seems like he's sort of carrying on that same mentality of Pope Francis, a little bit.
There we go.
But then I also found there's some people that are saying the opposite from back in the day, that he had some quotes from like 2012 or something like that, where he said something about, the media and people are making non-traditional homes, like 2 dads or 2 moms or that kind of thing.
Yeah.
They're like over glorifying them or something like that, which I could see him getting in trouble with that. First of all, that's a long time ago, but also we saw the rise of PC stuff, and we know that in Hollywood there's like this concerted effort, an agenda to like insert specific things, and they have like a political agenda that goes with it. So maybe that's some of the context, but you know how it is. People will always dig up some old shit. Like, this guy looked at porn one time. He should never.
Yeah, I know. We've talked about that before too. It's like, oh, Tony Dollar was Bob Marley one time.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, did you see that dude that commented on our one of our TikTok posts? It was like we're talking about the 100 gorillas or whatever. Said something like, I could take him with 10 men. We could take him down strategically right now. No casualties. Because we were talking about casualties. Yeah. I was like, okay, you could say that. Nobody knows. You don't know until you guys are standing there face to face with.
I'm going with the thing of like fucking animals don't care about the fucking injuries and pain.
Yeah,
you know what I was saying? Like, when Duchess tore her ACL. That fucking dog was still running in the background. That leg is like dangling down.
Yeah, I feel like if you kick a gorilla in the nuts, it will bite your hand off in the same moment.
Fucking make him more mad.
It's just going to be pissed.
Yeah.
Whereas if you kick a human in the nuts, we're going to writhe around on the ground for a couple of minutes.
Yeah. Well, I think that's the other thing too that again separates us from the animals, right?
Yeah.
Our fight or flight response, right? Where I think that's a part of being civilized and a little bit more smarter. Whereas we're like, we know if we go into this mode, some shit might happen. We're able to determine and figure out like the good and bad of things. Whereas I think Animals are different, right? Where it's like they're fight or flight mode. They're
instinct
like,
survival.
fucking fight. I don't give a fuck what happens. Like to me or anything else.
Right.
So whereas us as humans, we kind of probably take a little recourse and think things through.
I could still go to work tomorrow. I maybe don't need to fight a gorilla today. Yeah. Dude, I still keep thinking about all those animals we talked about last time. I found a dope ass podcast.
Okay.
Dope ass podcast that I am absolutely addicted to. It has become my number one go-to, and it's the Science of Everything podcast.
Okay. All right.
And it's just this smart ass dude, British dude,
Okay.
just explaining the science of everything. There's different episodes. So far I've listened to 2 episodes. The first one was on diet and nutrition.
Yeah.
Now, this is, if you're not a nerd, this is not for you.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Because some people are going to hear it and just like, it's in depth. Like you say, the science of diet and nutrition, it's an hour and a half.
Okay.
Dude gets into the chemistry of everything. He breaks down differences, between macronutrients, micronutrients, where the vitamin naming system has come from. Like right up my alley, brother. Like,
yeah. I like that shit too. Because any person that I've ever like dated, like in the past, has always made fun of me because I like that, like the show's called How It's Made.
Yes,
or
great show.
There's another show called How It Works too.
Great,
and so
yes,
I love watching that shit. Like I'm like, because I sit there, I'm like, where did this come from?
We're rabbit hole people, Pierce.
Who the fuck made this? And when on that show How It's Made, it deep dives into like all that shit. And
I think that's why I love our podcast, because it's not about anything. We can deep dive on anything we want. And so I love deep diving on everything from its extinct animals. That's what made me think of it was, so I listened to the diet and nutrition one, and it's so funny too. Like, this is how high level these podcasts are, is at the beginning, he gives you like background recommendations. He's like, you should go back and listen to episodes 4 and 7 on metabolism so that you can, you know what I mean? Like, there's all these cross reference
like,
shit.
God, here I
So
go.
the other one I think I'm 3/4 of the way through is A History of Earth's Climate. But he does them in these series. So like the nutrition one is diet and nutrition, and then it gets into like common conditions like diabetes, heart disease, all that kind of stuff. And then it keeps progressing, right? So the first one is the history of Earth's climate, and it just breaks it down. We really only know about the last 1,000,000 years. Before that, it gets real shady, and it's sketchy because of most of what we know our information from is from ice core, like the layers of ice or whatever. And so after about 1,000,000 years, it's so condensed, it's a little distorted. It's kind of hard to tell exactly.
Yeah.
But we know a shit ton about the last 1,000,000 years. So right now I'm just walking through all that. By the way, I didn't listen to the background one he recommended. And I think I might need to go back and
You're like, I'm a little lost now.
He has another one just on climate systems.
Okay.
So you can understand how climate works and all this shit. So, but anyway, it's a fucking great podcast. I recommend it to everybody. I'm so excited. There's so many episodes I haven't listened to. I've really gotten away from is Rogan. I don't listen to Rogan very much anymore.
Likewise.
Yeah. Here and there. There's one I started listening to, but I couldn't get into it. Was some dude went on there talking about just the normal crazy shit.
Yeah.
He's like a government guy with aliens and knows all this like, wild shit. I was thinking about what we talked about last episode too, and how spot on that I think that is like the difference between when we say what's it called? Paranormal.
Yeah.
We say paranormal. It's really just shit we don't understand yet.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
That's the science of it. Yeah.
Yeah. Once upon a time, gravity was paranormal. We didn't understand why we stuck to the earth. Some invisible force.
Yeah. That's funny.
I saw an article because we talked about chimpanzees last time. I did see an article that was saying that chimpanzees have natural rhythm. Natural rhythm. Yeah. So they actually, they communicate by hitting the buttresses of trees with like sticks and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And so they started recording it and studying it and breaking it down and realized that there was like rhythm to it. And so it was not random. It was not like they actually have rhythm. And then they got even deeper and they were looking at the difference between like Eastern chimps and Western chimps. And I think Western are the more aggressive ones or whatever. And they were talking about how one of them had like more swing and one's more on the beat, right? So there's like do, do, do versus like do, 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 like that kind of, I'm like, what the fuck? But what the takeaway was is that they think that rhythm is deep in our evolutionary history, like music
Okay.
and our connection to music and rhythm and sounds and vibrations, just because, we have a common ancestor with them, and it seems intrinsic in them too, sort of having this propensity toward rhythm or whatever. Yeah.
That's so funny, dude. Well, because right, that's the two different ancestral ways to go, right? The Neanderthal and the Sub-Saharan, right? The African, where it was like two different styles, right? You either have caveman in you or you don't.
Oh, sure, yeah.
Right? And so you're saying, Dollar, that white people just naturally have never had
rhythm. Yeah. That's a whole funny story too. That's like funny how that's come about. Like when we first started, like years and years and years ago, like it was an insult to call somebody a Neanderthal. Bro, you're a fucking Neanderthal. Like you're so dumb.
You're so dumb.
And then, but that was kind of the narrative about them. They were dumb and primitive.
Yeah.
And, you know what I mean? They weren't as sophisticated as us. And then the DNA studies started coming out, and they started realizing that like, I see. It's mostly white people that have Neanderthal stuff in them, and Africans, black people have none.
Yeah,
like none at all. And then you see the cultural narrative shifting of they were very pensive. They were this highly sophisticated, communicative group that we previously thought was. Then we found out they were white, so we know they got to be dope. It's fucking stupid, dude. So funny how things like that are. That reminds me of like the history of anthropology.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They went through those phases where they would classify humans, rank different ethnicities, like these are the dumbest ones. Like it's so crazy how crude our history is as people. The shit that we do,
That's funny. And like now you're finding out, Tony, that we have East Coast and West Coast chimpanzees.
East Coast, West Coast beef. And the chimpanzee.
Your slow ass beat over there with your slow ass beat.
Stay on the beat, bro.
Yeah, stay on the beat, bro. Making up your own shit over there.
Swing over here.
Yeah.
Playing jazz on some trees. Some bullshit.
Some bullshit.
Hey, for our podcast, I've been kind of just like, when it's just me and you, I've just been thinking through things that, like topics. I try to find interesting topics I think would be fun to talk about. But one thing I did was some questions. So I came up with a couple of questions that I wanted to ask you.
Yeah.
Okay. So if you had a pet parrot, what would you teach it to say?
Fucking parrots. I don't like birds, Dollar.
Yeah, but if you had, I didn't even think about that part. Yeah. If
I had a pet parrot, what would I teach it to say?
I'm fucking dumb.
Yeah.
Parrots suck.
I do what my boss says. That's right. Fucking parrot.
He owns me.
Damn, what would I teach a parrot to say?
And I purposely haven't thought of my own answers for these yet either.
I'd have it say probably like some obscure shit. Just like, help me. Like, right? Like, what?
Please stop choking me. I can't breathe.
Like some weird shit, he has stuff in the basement.
Well,
Something like that. He has stuff in the basement.
The body's in the backyard.
Yeah, stuff like that. People are like, what? And I just sit there like, I just go feed it a cracker real quick.
Says the craziest shit, this parrot.
Yeah, it's not even know what he's talking about. It's wild. That's wild. Or just teach him like lyrics from like teach him Rapper's Delight.
Oh my God, yeah. Imagine they could do it really well.
I should have hip hop.
Fucking bring a chimpanzee in, get the fucking beat going.
Fucking parrot and a chimpanzee. Just fucking Animal Kingdom band in my house.
Oh man, I don't know what my answer to that one would be. I'm trying to think. Like I have no idea. We had a parakeet growing up, but they're different. They don't talk as in the same way.
They're just fucking loud.
Yeah, they got out one time though. That's how
they got out one time.
That's how it died, bro. It got out more than once, but one time when it got out, the cat,
like somebody left it open.
We had a cat. Yeah, left the door open. It was probably my sister or me taking the bird out when we weren't supposed to. We were, you're not supposed to be taken out, and when you do, you got to make sure the cat's like outside or something.
Yeah,
we didn't, and
cat got it for real.
Yeah, cat fucking just got it. That cat was like, "This is the greatest day. It's like a jungle in here." I always wanted that bird. It's always in that fucking protected.
What's his name?
bars.
Sylvester.
Sylvester the cat. Yeah. Yeah. So no, parrots are interesting though because they do repeat speech.
Yeah.
I think it fucks with their head though because it feels like they're really saying it, but they're not. They're just repeating sounds.
Yeah. Well, I remember when I was a kid, there was a pet store in Aurora, right off of Del Mar, and this pet store had a cockatoo because cockatoos can also speak.
Sure.
And they had this cockatoo, and I remember walking through this pet store. I don't even know what we were there for. I forget. But we're walking through this pet store, and I hear this. I see you. I was all,
Oh God.
I was like, what the fuck is that? Like, I'm a little kid. And it's like, I see you.
Oh no.
And I'm like, what is that? And like walking around, and there's this cockatoo, like in the open, right? Because probably they clipped his wings, right?
Are there different colors, by the way, or they're all that white?
I think they're all that white.
Off-white
Yeah,
color.
yeah. And so it was sitting in the middle of this, the store on its little perch and everything like that. I'm like looking around, and then I looked at it, and right when I looked at it, it was like, I see you. And I was like,
It's you.
I was like, you say things like,
Wow. What did you think it was? Did you think it was like a person? Or
yeah, I
something?
didn't know what it was because it's the way it sounded, right? Obviously, it's not a person,
Regular person.
Yeah,
But
voice,
something like
but
a
yeah.
recording.
And it's
or-
all, I see you. And I was like, oh my God.
that's
I was
kinda
like,
creepy,
you,
actually.
and I looked at it and I was like, you say things. I remember, saying, I was like, oh, you can say things. And it was all, hi. And I was all, hi.
Damn, that's
I
a
see
cool
you.
experience as a
But
kid.
it's
Yeah.
like, it's not going to have a full on fucking conversation with you,
Right.
right? It's just
It's
like a
got a
couple of
limited-
different things too. But yeah, I remember as a
Those
kid.
are pretty big, aren't they? Aren't cockatoos like,
Yeah.
like that?
Very bigger than that $1. I think they're like that, dude.
Oh, really big? Yeah.
because
okay.
like the tail to the head,
Damn,
right?
they
'Cause
are
their tail,
hella big.
because their tail's long.
Yeah.
But yeah, there was also this reel I seen on Instagram one time before where the neighbors had called the cops on this on one of their neighbors because you can hear in the background he has like a Ring camera outside and he's like working on his car, right? And you can hear this help. Help!
It's the bird.
Help! Like
Yeah.
saying help, right? And the neighbors thought it was like somebody like, needing help
Legit
for
needing
real.
help, yeah.
And so it's like, help me. And they're like, oh my God, like what's going on, And so like the police come and approach this guy and he's laughing. He's no, it's the bird, He's like, I'm gonna show you, and I think he brings out the bird, and it's all help, help, and the police officer's just like cracking up laughing, But
Yeah.
but at the same time, again, how you said they're mimicking sounds. Like I went to deep dive myself, not actual to that, but in my brain I went to deep dive myself because again they mimic things that they hear, and so I'm like, what if you guys just like walked by a fucking serial killer,
Oh, shit.
and didn't know?
It's just the bird.
It's just the bird. He says crazy things,
Yeah. Right.
but he heard that shit before, right? That bird heard
Yeah.
that shit before.
Yeah. I feel like that was, I think that was actually used in a court case one time.
Wait, what?
It was a wife and husband. I think the husband killed the wife,
Okay.
and they actually
The bird was like the witness or something?
yeah, something that like the
What?
bird was saying something. I can't remember. I might be mixing up two stories though too, because wasn't there one like that with Alexa too? I feel like
because
there was
Alexa
one.
can like listen. And
Yeah, there was one
yeah,
like maybe
yeah.
that's what I'm thinking of. Maybe it wasn't a bird. I can't remember now. Or maybe that was in a show. You never know, bro. Shit gets in your head. You feel like you saw it somewhere.
based on true events.
Yeah.
Like when they say that stuff, I forget what it was. Like when it says based on a true story,
Yeah, based on actual events.
based on a true story, or inspired by a true story is like
Yeah,
a different
but
one. When they say inspired by a true story, that means they like added a whole bunch. Of
Right.
different
If they're
fucking
going to
shit
do
in.
that, they should be required to list all the places they took liberty, all the things they took liberty with. We changed this, we changed that, we added that, we guessed on this. Just because otherwise you shouldn't even be able to say. But I think that gets people, when it's like based on a true story.
Oh yeah, dollar.
Oh, it did. This was real, the bird.
There have been real life cases where birds, particularly parrots, were considered as potential witnesses in court.
Wow.
Not in a traditional sense, but one of the famous ones was called the Parrot Witness. Was a murder case in Michigan in 2015.
Okay, so that was real.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So it was a man named Martin Durham was shot and killed in his home Afterwards, the family's African gray parrot named Bud repeatedly mimicked a phrase that sounded like, "Don't effing shoot."
Whoa.
The bird's vocal repetition raised suspicion and was used as part of the circumstantial evidence by the family members to support the theory that Durham's wife, you're right, dog.
Okay.
It was the opposite.
It was the opposite, yeah. And I almost thought that.
Durham's wife, who survived a gunshot wound, was the shooter.
Yeah.
While Bud was never officially recognized as a witness in court, his vocalizations were reported in the media and considered during the investigations.
Holy shit.
So, African gray parrots are highly intelligent.
Did you say African gay parent?
Gray. African. Specifically the gay ones.
Best listeners.
The best listeners. Girl, I got you. I understand, girl. African gray parrots are highly intelligent and known for their ability to mimic human speech with context-sensitive usage, especially in emotionally charged situations. So while birds can't legally testify, they definitely play a role in criminal cases.
Wow.
But how, if they're not legally able? I mean, obviously it wasn't.
Well, in that case, what were they saying? Like it got into the media and then it influenced people, which is not supposed to happen technically, right?
No, it's not. Yeah, they're supposed to dismiss that stuff. Like even if you're on the jury, right? You're not supposed to watch, right? It's just, in some cases, don't they ask you not to watch
in some cases,
television or media and stuff like that? Yeah.
But it's just an imperfect system.
Yeah.
Especially like the big ones, like the Johnny Depp and Amber Heard and all
Heard
that kind of stuff.
yeah.
Like there's just no way that these people are avoiding it.
Yeah.
Unless they're locking them in a room with no internet, you know what I'm saying?
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. How do they determine that? Like
Yeah,
they're just
right? Are they checking their phones?
Are they just putting them in a fucking hotel and just like
just
all they
do
get
it.
is
I think so.
all they get is HBO.
No, I think that's how they do it. Is it's actually an honor system. I think it's just like, don't do it. You're officially, you're in breach of your responsibilities if you do look this shit up. But it's just some of that stuff. When it's a high profile case like that, it's impossible to avoid stuff.
Do you want to hear some more cases that involved animals?
Yeah, let's go.
The trial of the pig in France in 1386, one of the most famous medieval animal trials. A pig in France was put on trial for murdering a child. The pig was dressed in human clothes and tried in court, found guilty, and publicly executed.
Oh, God. Dark ending. What the fuck? So why would they put it on trial, though?
Why don't you just
As
put it
humans,
down?
wouldn't they just go, he's fucking guilty?
Yeah.
Or he belonged to somebody, maybe? If somebody's...
Yeah, it's like, right?
The farmer just comes out with a gun. I don't know what the fuck the trial is about. That's very odd.
Yeah.
France.
Come on, guys.
French people.
How about this? A goat in court in Nigeria in 2009. Police in Nigeria held a goat in custody after claiming a group of robbers used black magic to transfer into animals to escape arrest.
Whoa.
The goat was considered a possible shapeshifter thief
Oh, God.
and was held while the case was investigated. Obviously, the case was dropped.
Bro, I was going to say, that's a legal system I don't want no part
Right?
of.
Don't go to Nigeria. You will be tried for anything, it sounds like. It fucking sounds like Monty Python. Remember, it's like, witch! She's a witch!
Yeah, dude. Come on, guys. What are we doing over there?
Hey, arrest that man right there. The musician, Tony Dollar.
Yeah, he's putting spells.
His music causes spells. My wife has fallen in love with Tony Dollar.
Yeah, no, that's wild. I would not want any part of a system.
Another parrot in the witness stand in Argentina in 2014. A parrot allegedly shouted, "No, please stop it," during a domestic dispute in which a man was later found murdered. While not formally used, obviously, in evidence, the parrot's phrase was repeated during the investigation and matched witness testimony.
Whoa. Damn. That's wild shit. This is kind of reminding me of like using animals in court like that. It's also it's talking about how we always talk about paranormal type of shit. That Joe Rogan podcast I did start listening to, that's one of the things that he was talking about was remote viewing and how the government uses it. Like they've got all kinds of people that are like really good at remote viewing, and there's actual published scientific studies on this.
Okay,
not now; they're pretty old.
Elaborate a remote viewing dollar.
So remote viewing is this idea that a person can like travel somewhere else outside of their body, somewhere else on Earth. They're just in another location, and be able to describe what they see and like see what's going on, stuff like that. And so they would use them. And in the studies that they did, they would like have guys go, like one guy was really skeptical, this government official dude. And so he was like, whatever, let's go ahead and I'll go somewhere and you tell me where I'm at.
Uh-huh.
And so then they do. And he describes like the playground perfectly. And like they would make sketches all the time. So they'll like draw what they see and describe it. And it was so effective that they never knew how it worked, but they just started using people. And he was saying there's a wide range. There's people that are amazing at it and people that are not so great. And so like one example, the best one they had, forgot the guy's name, but he was like the best remote viewer that they had. They did an experiment with him because they wanted to know if distance played a role or not. If like you could remote view as far as you wanted. And so they had him remote view Jupiter and describe what he saw.
Uh-huh.
And so he described Jupiter pretty normal and everything, but then he added this one detail and he was like, I don't know if I went to the wrong place. I missed shot and got to Saturn, but there's a ring. And Jupiter doesn't have rings, right? But that's what the remote viewer guy did.
What?
Then it was like a couple years later, they got the closest view that they had ever gotten, and they could see that there literally was rings. And so that guy had seen it, and that's when they're like, wow, distance doesn't matter. This dude can remote view the outer, some fucking other planet in our solar system. So pretty wild shit.
Huh. It's like psychic soldiers, basically. That's like
that's how that super skeptical guy got involved. Was they did one where he went inside their building and told them about some secured documents and what was on them. Was able to tell them exactly what was on them, and they were like, "What the fuck?"
Wasn't there a movie called the George Clooney movie, "The Men That Stare at Goats"? Isn't that another?
I never saw that.
I think that's like another. They're like psychic soldiers, apparently, or something like that.
Okay, interesting. No, I never did see that one.
All right, here's another one.
What is this? Animals in Court?
Yeah, Animals in Court. Another one, a cat was summoned for jury duty in Massachusetts 2011. The cat named Sal. Stop it, dude. One of my favorite things ever is when people give fucking animals human names.
Human names, yeah. This is Jeffrey.
Yeah. Fucking, okay. A cat named Sal Esposito was mistaken.
Sal Esposito.
Like a whole ass last name, too, dude. Bro. Like, I mean, yes, I know at the vets, it's like Duchess Pierce, right?
They add it on, but
a cat named Sal Esposito was mistakenly summoned for jury duty after being listed on his census form as a family member. Despite attempts by the owner to be excused, the court insisted Sal was not disqualified based on his species.
Whoa. That's so wild. The shit human beings do. I did go on a deep dive about cat domestication as well.
Did you?
Yeah. I go on a lot of weird deep dives. Yeah.
Is it pre? Right. It's pre-Egypt. The domestication. I remember that.
It's. I started going down it because there was this really old fossil find of a person and a cat, and it was like shit ton of years ago. I don't remember. I'm not even going to try and guess the years. Last time I did that, I said like 1 million, and it was like 10,000. You have to be careful guessing wild numbers that you don't understand. But they found it, and so they were looking into it and realizing that we don't exactly know when we first domesticated cats.
Yeah.
But that they've been domesticated for a long time, and their ancestors are not actually like how I thought was like lions and shit like that.
Yeah.
It's there's specific species that aren't around anymore that they think that they kind of branched from.
Yeah.
That were more like cheetah size, you know what I mean? Like more like cat like.
Yeah.
And they actually, and there's actually wild cats still, by the way, that look exactly like domesticated cats.
Like servals and Bengal cats, those are technically wild cats.
Is that? Oh yeah, I don't even know what you're talking about.
Yeah, no, those are like big cats. Like again, referring to my video game that I play, that Last War. I have one of my alliance members. He has servals and Bengal cats.
Servals. How do you spell that? Cerval.
Serval. Yeah.
I want to see what a serval is.
Yeah, look at them, dollar. They're huge. And they're expensive.
But they're alive now. They're like cats in the wild.
Yeah, they're
or they're domesticated.
Pets. Yeah, they're domesticated exotic pets, basically. Dollar, and they get huge, like dog size.
Wait, how do you spell it? Let's see if I can find it.
S-E-R-V-A-L.
Oh, here I found it. Okay, Serval. Okay, like Serval. Yeah, that's what you said. Oh wow, yeah, They got big ass ears, dude.
Yeah, dude.
Bro, they can hear us right now from wherever they are. That's crazy. Those ears are so big.
But he has those. And look up Bengal too.
What are they called?
Bengal.
Well, a Bengal's a tiger, right? Bengal cats?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Bengal cat. It's a cat breed. Oh, wow. They are trippy looking. They look like leopards. Their pattern
patterns,
or whatever.
dude.
Looks like leopard.
Aren't they sick?
Yeah, that's pretty dope.
But anyways, they also cost a lot. Just look at the price dollar. These are like $6,000 to $10,000 animals.
Really?
Yeah. Look at the cost.
I don't know if it's got a cost.
Bengal cost. Just put like that.
All right, Bengal cat cost. Yeah, well, this has 1 to 4 or more, depending on several.
Now
factors.
look at serval cost.
Serval cat cost.
Yeah. See, that's crazy. $1,000 to $4,000.
Yeah. Oh, up to 25,000 or more.
Yeah, bro.
$25,000 for a pet,
dude.
You got too much money, bro. At that point, if
they're basically like fucking wild animals. All those things are, and I think I don't remember how big they get. They get huge, but the guy in my alliance, he has like a cat treadmill for it. So it's basically like a wheel, just like a a hamster or whatever like that. Yeah. But it has like he has all this exercise for it in his house. He has
dude, if you had one of those, you need to keep that shit active.
Yeah.
You don't want that thing getting the zoomies. Yeah. Just shredding everything in your house. You imagine?
Yeah, but they're beautiful, dude. He always posts pictures of them and stuff like that. I love it. But yeah. Okay, and last $1.
Okay.
That's on here. Monkey selfie copyright case. That's a US and UK from 2015 2018.
Arguing over who owned the selfie.
Yeah, a macaque. Was it a macaque?
Oh, a macaque.
A macaque, yeah. A macaque named Nurato took a selfie using a photographer's camera. PETA sued on the monkey's behalf, claiming that Nurato should own the copyright.
Who's the chimp?
Yeah,
or the
chimp, yeah.
Or I'm sorry,
the
not
monkey,
chimp, the macaque.
Yeah. Claiming that he should own the copyright. The courts, the courts ultimately ruled that animals can't win.
I was going to say there's precedence on that already.
Animals have no rights.
Yeah, it gets weird with that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Like an animal owning something.
Yeah.
Like it's just weird. The idea, honestly, if you go deep enough, the idea of ownership is real weird.
Yeah.
They're like, where does it stop? Where you're like, this is my part of the universe. This thing belongs to me. This country, this line. Don't cross this line. It's like all this kind of shit,
Yeah. All right. What's this another question you got? Said you have multiple questions.
Yeah. What's a food combination you just can't get behind?
A food combination that I just
that like
can't
people
get
do,
behind.
and you're like, what is wrong with people?
A food combination that I can't get behind. Like wasn't for a while, wasn't one of the big things like the pickle juice and Dr. Pepper?
Oh, I remember that. Yeah. I never
that?
tried it. Did
I
you
never
try
tried
it.
it. No.
Fuck that.
So
what are you doing?
That's weird, I think.
Yeah.
Pickle juice and Dr. Pepper. I don't
What do you think of the French fries being dipped in milkshakes? That's a real common one.
Yeah. In Frosties. I'm down with that. Like a Wendy's Frosty, dip in some Wendy's fries and a Wendy's Frosty. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I can get behind that.
Yeah. You know what I don't like is I love onions in some things, and some things I can't stand it.
Yeah.
So stuff like macaroni salad, right? Love me some macaroni salad.
Okay.
Put onions in it. I'm out.
Huh.
I'm out. Don't chop onions.
Or what about the fucking people that put raisins in their potato salad?
Yeah. No thanks, dude. No.
Right?
No, I'm
There's
not
people that
down
put
with
raisins in their potato salad. That's
people
fucking
do a lot of
wild.
weird shit.
That's wild, bro.
Well, I told you, was it last episode we were talking about when we met the neighbors and stuff?
Yeah.
Just realizing how different palates are across the world. She's from South Africa.
Yeah, that's what you're saying.
And that sausage she made, dude, I never tasted anything like that. Like, I recognize all
that's
the
what you're saying.
spices.
It was like a sweetness to it, right?
Yeah, it was, but it wasn't quite sweet. It was like sweet spices.
Yeah.
Like spices you would associate with sweeter things were mixed into the sausage, which was a mix of different types of meat. The whole thing was just a trip. And you realize, like, wow, food is kind of different everywhere. That nutrition podcast the Science of Everything was really fascinating, because I've always thought about like what's edible and what's not edible, and how do you know if you can eat something? And, you know what I mean?
Like we were
just
talking with Tyler, like when we remember where like somebody had to have eaten a puffer fish and be like, oh, you can't eat that
don't
part.
do that. Oh,
Frank,
Fred.
fucking Frank.
Oh, that's funny. You said Frank, and I went with
Yeah.
Fred.
Yeah.
Typical names or whatever.
Yeah, but no, yeah, it's I think the pickle juice and the Dr Pepper.
Mm.
I don't think I can get.
That's
behind
real weird. Do people still do that, or was that just a trend?
I don't know. It was but you remember it?
Yeah, I do remember it.
Yeah.
Pickle juice and isn't pickle juice turning out to be like it's supposed to be really healthy for you?
I don't know.
Or maybe that's just a trend too. I don't know.
I don't know. I just remember how I associate pickle juice was fucking all my friends saying that they're trying to drink pickle juice to pass a drug test.
Is there any truth to that?
I don't know. Did you ever hear that too? You did that before, you said, right?
No, I've never done that.
Oh no, you said you used
I used tried and true
yeah.
methods, buddy.
Yeah.
Never failed a fucking drug test ever. Smoked weed for a long time. Never had to fail but I've never heard that about pickle juice. Is that what you're looking up right now?
Yeah, this pickle juice.
People actually use
pass
pass
drug
a-
tests.
I imagine tests like that are going to get so much more sophisticated with modern science that you're not going to be able to fool it. Definitely not with some pickle juice.
No, pickle juice does not help you pass a drug test.
Totally
It is
false.
a myth. Pickle juice is acidic, but it doesn't significantly alter your body's pH or drugs or drug metabolites in your system in the way that would help you beat a drug test. Some people believe that the vinegar in the pickle juice helps cleanse the body, but again, there's no scientific evidence for that.
Isn't that a thing like women crave when they're pregnant too?
ChatGPT's asking me if I'm trying to beat a drug test.
It wants to help
Trying
you.
to cheat a drug test, especially for employment or legal matters? No, I have a job. Thanks.
Yeah, now that I do the paid version of ChatGPT, and I got over like my fear because I was like, I know so much. I don't know how much I want to feed this thing about myself and my life. Where all is this going? But I think it's unavoidable. And as soon as I let all that go, that shit has become one of the best tools in my life. Dude.
Yeah.
It's so handy for so many things. And it's not perfect. People think it's like a plug and play. You just, create this and you're done. Like you got to go back and forth and you got to try like to really get out of it what you actually want to get out of it. But yeah, ChatGPT is a whole new thing. It might end up being as big as like not specifically ChatGPT, but like this AI stuff in general. It's like the new internet. I feel like it's like the next big development in technology.
Yeah. That's funny.
What's one thing you will never do again?
One thing I'll never do again.
Yeah, you're like never doing that again.
Let's see here.
I feel like I have a lot of those and I can't think of any, but I know.
Oh, okay. I was wondering. I was like, you asked the question, so I wondered.
Yeah, I definitely. There's been a lot of things where I'm like, yeah, don't do that. Just do that again.
Dang it! What is one thing that I'd never do again?
I'll never cut my hair again myself.
That is a good one. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, because I started off strong with that one. I got that first haircut I gave myself was fucking clean, bro. Was clean. And the next time I got cocky, I was like, I want to go to a zero fade.
And
Bro,
fade up.
I faded zero all the way up to my head. I had a damn mohawk. I was trying to be old school Mike Pierce or something. What the hell?
Something I'd never do again. Dang.
Yeah, something you did and you're like, yep, just need once of that. That's all I needed.
I don't even know.
We can come back. What's your favorite dinosaur?
My favorite dinosaur is a coelophysis.
Is a what?
A coelophysis.
What's that?
It's a little tiny look it up.
Yeah, a coelophysis. Do you know how to spell it?
CELOPHYSIS.
Oh, it's a cute little. It almost looks like a teeny tiny Raptor. Yeah.
It was a predator still, but I just remember as a kid, liking that dinosaur because it's tiny. And I think the coelophysis are the little ones like on the first Jurassic Park that attacked the guy
in the Jeep or whatever when he gets stuck.
Yeah, the group pack thing.
Yeah, they're not too small. I mean, seeing it next to a chicken, it's probably like that big.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they're small compared to
massive
other dinosaurs.
But yeah, no, since I was a kid, it was and plus I just like saying it. Coelophysis. Sounds cool.
Yeah. There's I found another podcast I listened to, just one episode of, because it's like a dino. I can't remember what they're called, but it's because they came on that other Science of Everything podcast, and they talked about dinosaurs. But they were breaking down all their like pet peeves, where people were like, "That dinosaur didn't live at the same time as this one," or "We didn't really know that dinosaur looked like this," and that kind of stuff. So I thought that was pretty interesting, because dinosaurs fascinate us so much, and I think it's just because they're massive. And they're from a totally different time.
Yeah.
When it was like reptiles were the dominant species on Earth.
Well, and the other thing too that always cracks me up is like how do we know that these fossils, that these bones go with these particular, dinosaurs, or that's how they look like when
right
together.
And they've got different colors.
Yeah.
This one was green and yellow.
Yeah. Well, there was didn't they find like a preserved head of a dinosaur?
Really?
Yeah, like the scales, like it's like obviously mummified-ish kind of a thing, fossilized or whatever.
To be
fossilized.
It's so old. I didn't even know something like that could be
let me see.
preserved.
I think it was just recently too.
I know some more recent stuff is preserved sometimes. Like I remember them finding that. Remember they found that dude in the ice? It was like an ancient human.
Yeah, it was Encino Man. We seen the juice, buddy. No, is that what you're talking about, Dollar?
No, not that one. That's fictional. That's a movie.
Based on true events.
Yeah, right. Exactly. No, they really did though. They found, and it had preserved clothes. It was like mummified and stuff. But that's a few thousand years. Like if we actually had like preserved dinosaur, that would be fucking wild. They're so old.
Let's see here. It's not. Maybe not. I thought I saw something.
Yeah, it's hard to say. They don't really know. They might have been covered in feathers for all we know.
Well, so there is that. There is that they found. Maybe that's what I saw. It was like in the. So the one with the feathered head is in China. Fossils of feathered dinosaurs like the, was it the Sinosauropteryx or the Microraptor have preserved parts of their heads and feathers, revealing details of coloration and feather placement.
Oh, okay. So we do know some.
Yeah, several fossils of the Psittacosaurus, a small horned dinosaur, have been found with preserved skin and bristle-like structures, and in some cases, some facial outlines.
Well, what's really interesting, one of the things those guys talked about on that podcast about dinosaurs and like things that, that bother them, is the reconstructions of dinosaurs. For whatever reason, they don't really give them any fat.
Yeah,
like these are like fucking shredded. These are like Fron at his peak dinosaurs.
Just fucking,
you know what I'm saying? They're like
as fuck.
It's fucking 3% body fat, bitches.
Fucking dinosaurs.
And that's what they were saying is for whatever reason when they remodeled them, they would always just leave the fat off, and it would be like suctioned on skin. If you notice, that's how all the dinosaurs look. Like, why wouldn't they have some body fat?
Ripped.
Yeah,
motherfucker ripped.
They were all jacked. In fact, our infatuation with dinosaurs, the history of it's really neat. It was like these guys. It was like Carnegie and like some rich dudes that just thought it was fucking cool, and they made these big reconstructions, and that's sort of what started it. And it was like the big ones like T-Rex. And
so the best preserved dinosaur specimen ever found was called the Nodosaur mummy. It's in Canada. They found it in 2011. It's a 110 million year old armored dinosaur with skin, scales, and even the pigments were preserved. While it's not just the head, the entire front half of the dinosaur. Wow.
Got a picture of it there, by the way.
So it's intact and often called dinosaur mummy. The skull and facial structure are extremely well preserved, giving scientists a rare insight into its appearance. Here, I'll look it up here.
Yeah, see if you can get a picture of that thing. What the hell?
The Nodosaur mummy. Oh, yeah, Dollar. This thing is... Oh, so this is the one that I saw. Okay, so it wasn't recent. It's a long time ago.
Okay, so... Whoa.
Bro, yeah.
It looks like a giant armadillo or something.
Yeah.
The fuck? That's crazy. 100 million years old?
110 million.
110 million years old. I'll have to either add a picture to the podcast or maybe one of our clips.
Yeah.
That's so crazy, dude.
Yeah.
The fact that how could the skin and shit last 100 million years?
Bruh, I don't know.
Yeah, right. I have no idea. That's really, really crazy.
Yeah.
Man, I'm glad we didn't live at that time though. There's a reason mammals were so small at that time.
Yeah.
They were just hiding under shit, sticking, to things.
Yeah. All right. What's another question, Dollar?
Which one have I? Oh, I think that's all I got. Those are the ones that what is one thing you'll never do again? Did you think of that one?
What is one thing that I'll never do?
Yeah. So I'll never cut my hair again myself.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe you shouldn't say never, but I don't think I'll ever do like a marathon again. Not a marathon. I've never done a marathon. That's bullshit. But like a long run, like a 10K or whatever. I'll probably never do that kind of stuff again. In fact, sometimes I regret all the years I ran for just because the joints are.
Yeah.
My left knee is still very concerning, my friend.
Jeez. I'll never do it. I mean, yeah, I've done that before where I cut my own hair. But
Yeah.
Dollar, I cut my hair with a fucking so the razor, the electronic shavers,
Yeah.
like the old Norelco ones where you get like the
The ones that are rounded on the end?
No, the ones like the three.
They're actual clippers.
The little like little three things.
Oh, the little circles.
Yeah, the little circles.
Yes,
right.
sure.
But on the back, it has like a trimmer, a beard trimmer. So you flip it up and it goes and it's like just like the something where you can like line up like your sideburns or like a goatee or something like that. I use that, Tony.
To cut your hair?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
It went pretty
I
bad.
thought that I could also do a fade.
Oh, no.
Like with that thing, Dollar. Like I thought that I can just eyeball that shit. And yeah.
I wonder if barbers get pissed about that kind of shit, that we Yahoos just think we can just do something they
I remember
go to school
it, and
for.
it was like I cut my own hair using that stupid thing, and I looked like fucking Chet Holmgren hair because like it was like I don't know, it was like just a sharp cutoff right here, Dollar, because again it doesn't have like a guard on it or anything like that. So I just kept on going. I'm like, oh no, and then when you get to the back, you really can't see the back all that great, and so it wasn't like even or anything like that. My mom, I remember why I did it too. I did it because like I needed a haircut bad, and like it was the new year was starting for school.
Oh, of course.
And I was like, I wanted to look fresh. Bro.
Why does it always happen at that time?
Yeah.
I feel like
I wanted to look fresh. And I was
you
like,
look fresh, all right.
And I was like, Mom, I need a haircut. She's like, my mom's too busy.
Yeah.
And so I was like, I'll fucking just do it myself. So I got like my stepdad's Norelco razors, with the beard clippers to try to cut my own hair, bro. Did not work, but luckily my mom was like, "You're not going to fucking school like that." And like,
thank God, good
took
mom.
me to a barber real quick and cleaned that shit up.
Good mom. Yeah, I got triggered the other day. I saw a video of a kid pulling up to school, and he thought it was Dr. Seuss Day at school, and it wasn't.
Yeah.
And he was dressed like one of those Dr. Seuss characters. I don't know what it was. He was like in all orange bodysuit and had green hair and makeup, and I don't know. He's probably in 7th grade or some shit, and he just like, I mean, he was having a fucking panic attack. They pulled up and he was like, no. And the parents were like, you got to go to school. And he's like, I'm not fine. I'm not getting out like this. Are you out your mind? And it triggered me because of my story.
Yeah.
When I went to Halloween, I went to school on the wrong day, me and my sister dressed up as California raisins.
Yep.
Black fucking leotards and a big
And you
trash
had to go to
bag.
your uncle's house or something like that.
Yeah, I had to go to my grandma's house.
Yeah, your grandma's house.
Get some clothes. My God, bro.
I don't know, Dollar. I don't know what I wouldn't.
No regrets, huh?
So yours is the haircut.
Yeah, I know there's more. There's so many things. For me, it's always something related to like cutting a corner. Like, I'm going to do it this way just to see because it'll be a lot faster. Like, ooh, that's not the move.
Yeah. Man, what is mine?
Like, one thing is being more careful about the AI videos.
Yeah. I don't know. Like, Bitcoin just like hit $100,000, dude. Like, maybe like not getting into Bitcoin like ahead of time, because I remember my friend Justin is big time into cryptocurrencies and stuff like that, and he helped me with a couple of things in the early on stuff and like buying things. And I bought like a few things like smaller coins and like, Erythrium and all that stuff and like Solano and different things. And,
I've never messed with any of that shit.
yeah. And so I think, and it's funny because like I didn't do anything really with it. What I did is just use it to buy shit. Like I've used cryptocurrency to buy things before. And so like, but what I was really buying is things called like real, like just different things I've bought the cryptocurrency with. Like what I have now in cryptocurrency is like nothing. I have like a few dollars.
$6.
Yeah. Like legit, like a few dollars like in there and just like, not enough to cash out or anything. But my friend Justin, I think he has like a almost half of a Bitcoin in value.
How much is that?
$50,000.
Oh, a half a Bitcoin is
Yeah.
$50,000?
Yeah, because the full one is $100,000 right now.
A Bitcoin is $100,000?
Yeah.
That's
I
crazy.
just hit $100,000 this past week. But yeah, so maybe I guess getting into that.
So
but
you wish you had done, yeah.
yeah, wish they got like an earlier, because like back in the day when it was like nothing, you could have got a Bitcoin for, a couple $1,000s.
Yeah.
But no, I guess, I don't know.
I don't know anything about that stuff. I mean,
Yeah, and that's why I gave up on it because like it's just a lot of like
yeah.
paying attention and moving things and stuff like
Yeah.
that, like day trading, right? Like being
Right.
a day trader,
Right,
Like,
right.
I can't do that either.
That is weird that there are people that just make massive incomes out of just fucking moving money around.
Yeah,
That's so nuts to me. Does not even sound like a life I would want at all.
well, that is your life at that point in time, right?
I guess so.
Just paying attention to stuff like that.
Here, so I grabbed a couple more.
Okay.
So if you found yourself in a zombie apocalypse,
Yeah.
what would be the best weapon to help you survive? What would be your weapon?
The best weapon to help me survive a zombie
Apocalypse.
apocalypse.
Yeah. A go-to one, the one you gotta have. I guess you could look like at Walking Dead. What did they all have? They all had to have guns, right?
Something that's a go-to. I mean, guns, yeah, but then you run into the issue. If it's a zombie apocalypse, right? You run into an issue of ammo.
Oh, sure.
The
Yeah,
availability of ammo
That's
as well.
true. I'm going back to my childhood for my pick.
Okay.
I remember when these were all over TV and the commercials and stuff.
Okay.
But the what the fuck were they called? The Rambo survival knife? Was that what
Yeah.
it was called? Dude, it had a compass on the
On the
back.
end,
Oh
and then
my god!
You can open it up and it
Yep.
had like fishing line and
Yep.
stuff like that. Like
Yep.
yeah,
That's my
That's
go-to. I'm gonna have the.
yeah. But then you got to worry about close combat dollar, right? You have to worry about
It's a big ass knife.
Yeah, I know, but still, like if you're relying on that knife that's maybe what, like 8 inches.
Oh, I see what you're saying. So it comes up with a big ass fucking stick.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Crack me from far away. Shoot me.
no.
whatever.
I'm saying like a zombie's like coming at you. If you're worrying.
Oh,
about
you don't be that
bites.
close. You don't get infected.
Yeah, I don't want to get bite.
Makes sense.
Something like that, bro. Like,
Oh, you're right. You're right, because it did specifically say zombie apocalypse.
yeah.
Yeah, the knife's not the go-to for the zombies.
Why it's not a go-to? Like, what am I?
You got to get too
using?
close to them.
Yeah. Like
You don't want to be fucking relying on a knife.
you
to
want
fight off
something
10
that's gonna
zombies.
like do the job, but have enough distance. I mean,
Maybe like a spear.
like I'm saying, like yeah, like I mean, yeah, but it also has to be something that's like
Giant machete.
not giant, but something that's like mobile too. A spear is not fucking mobile, dude. Like you're running, try to run with a fucking spear in your hand or on your back or something like that.
Yeah.
I don't even.
Damn.
I'm traveling to the future, Tony, and I'm gonna go get me a laser weapon.
An
use a
evaporator.
laser. Yeah, evaporator.
Fucking evaporator. Just poof.
Yeah, I don't know. And then like even that right, bow and arrow, it's like you're limited to how many you can carry and how many that you have. Crossbow, same thing.
And that's a whole skill. I mean, I feel like there's still a lot of skill to swinging a sword or a knife or a machete or something, but not
Yeah.
the level of skill you need to shoot arrows
Yeah.
accurately.
Yeah.
And you have the ammo problem.
Yeah.
God, what would it be? I was so keen to pick that knife immediately.
Yeah.
But I didn't really think about the fact that if we are talking
I don't know, like
zombies, you don't want to get that close.
If we're thinking about like Walking Dead, homeboy that had Lucille. Lucille was the bat with barbed wire on it.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that's pretty effective. Not only is it a blunt object, but it's also like has some sharpness to it.
Yeah, and that's the tricky part is with the sharp stuff. You don't want something that's going to get stuck in the zombie.
Exactly.
You're like, oh, now you don't have anything in your hands. There's another one coming.
Yeah.
You're like, oh god.
Yeah.
Yeah. Some nunchucks. I'm just gonna.
Or what's there's also like one of those weapon the bow staff with the nunchucks at the ends. You seen those,
Oh
like,
yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
But
Like
again,
the
you have to
double
be
nunchucks.
fucking skilled at that shit.
Yeah. Exactly. What about that Elon fucking throw torch or whatever?
No, because that's not like an actual bullet torch. But then again, we're talking about resources, gasoline, like something to
Good point.
do that with. So
That's a good point.
I mean, I think it has to be like a fucking like axe or a sword, like right. It has to be something like that.
Yeah.
I think maybe like an
I
actual
would say a
axe.
sword. Only axe. I fear that getting stuck in a zombie.
I don't know because like the weight that you have behind it, like on that swing, like if you get a good enough swing, just like chunk and then like chunking something off,
Right.
you know, or making enough, or like even using the backside and use a blunt object, like bam, like smashing.
Yeah. I don't know.
I'm thinking an axe. I'm gonna go with axe.
Going with
dollar.
the axe.
Yeah, I'm going with an axe because blunt side and sharp side, right? And you can sharpen it with stone, you know, stuff like that too. So you can get it pretty sharp.
Okay.
Flint, you know, if you can find some, you know.
All right. I got another one for you.
Okay.
Okay. You suddenly got this magical ability
Okay.
and you don't have to sleep anymore.
Okay.
What are you going to do with all that extra time?
So it doesn't like I'm just energized all the time, just natural.
Yeah. Your body, and you're perfectly healthy.
Okay.
Like you don't need sleep. You're like this weird genetic phenomenon. Nobody's ever seen it before. You literally don't sleep.
Obviously, you're healthy and
You're
probably
healthy.
Ripped. You're probably ripped.
Yeah, you're shredded. Everything's great.
Okay.
And you have
What
now
am
you
I
have
doing with all my
24 full
extra-
hours a day to work with? What are you doing with all that extra time?
All that extra time, I'm spending it learning.
That's smart.
I am spending that extra time learning.
I love that.
So like whether that be like, you know, no, not necessarily. Okay, not necessarily just learning, but I'm also using that extra time for experiences, learning and experiences. Dollar. There we go.
Travel to France overnight.
Yeah, something like that, right?
Yeah.
Or, you know, and at the same time, when you're experiencing things, you're also learning things.
Mm.
And so I think that's what I'm doing. I'm learning and experiencing stuff.
As getting older guys, that's a thing. Time is such a valuable commodity.
Yeah.
That to me, I'm just like, I get giddy thinking about that. Like, that's a lot of extra time, dude.
That is.
If you just didn't have to sleep, sleep's annoying to me. It really is. It really
That
is.
fucking thing that goes on 8 hours a night. God damn it.
When I'm super tired, you know, I love it like anybody else. It's a physical necessity in life. But man, if you didn't have to sleep, just think of all this shit. You just worked around the clock. That's when I would do all my stuff that I just want to do for me. That's when I'd be working on music and
Yeah.
creating art and doing all those things that you just love to do that don't necessarily have like a really concrete purpose. But I'm with you on the learning too.
Yeah.
I can't stop myself, dude. I just deep dive everything. Anytime I get an itch, like a curiosity about something, I just can't stop myself because I grew up in a time, as you know, when you had to go to the library and research shit.
Yep.
And now I'm suddenly living in this time where I could have a question pop into my head. I can pull up my phone and Google and know the answer to it within 5 seconds. Like that to me makes it impossible for me to stop doing deep dives on fucking everything
Yeah.
because it's so fascinating. But that's why I like that new podcast because not only is he doing all the deep dives, but he's also completely science-based.
Yeah.
Really objective podcast.
Huh.
That's why I was looking, you know, the first thing I looked for because I was like, science of everything, huh? And you look through it and he does science on so many different topics. But I wanted to see, I was like, did he do one on God? I'd love to see that. The science of God. And I'm like, yeah, they would laugh at that. They wouldn't do that. What you looking up over there?
I'm just looking up other things on the weapon of choice.
You're really wanting to figure that out.
Yeah.
Well, because maybe we're going to really face it, dude.
Yeah.
You got to be ready. I told you, I got my little book. Teach me how to survive an apocalypse.
Dang. Yeah. I don't know. It's saying like.
It would need to be a custom-made weapon, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Something you create. I did go down a little bit of a rabbit hole watching those people who create swords. Like it's a craftsman thing. Like they really are competitive about it. And they'll have people like create a specific, like there's different types like the Excalibur or whatever, right? Like different types of swords. And then they have competitions where they test them, like trying to cut a fucking pig and just hang in there.
See here, so here it is. What it's saying online is a crowbar. Crowbar, because not only is it a blunt object and it has a good like length to it, right?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't think about this, but you can also open up doors and crates.
Yeah, it would be kind of a universal tool.
As
and opposed
a weapon.
to just a weapon. Yeah.
So like you're busting open doors and trying to get into things.
I just don't like that. It just seems like it could come off in a zombie to me. If you hit it with the wrong end, you get that hook side and it catches, and then all of a sudden it would slide out of your hand so easily. That's what I don't like.
Yeah, and then machete or a kukri, which is another sword, like knife-like thing. Machetes, bro. If you can get those fucking things sharp as fuck.
I know,
and like it could probably.
Yeah.
Because I mean, obviously,
have you seen some
machete
of those
attacks? Yeah,
dude. I told you, I've gone down some sword videos, rabbit holes. Have you seen some of those Japanese competitions?
Yeah,
they used to cut through a fucking water bottle slowly.
Yeah,
they'll be like,
well, they used to have
you're like, whoa.
So I'm nerdy. One of the shows I used to love to watch back in the day was called Forged in Fire. And what they do is they have like all these blacksmiths, and weapon makers and stuff like that. And they make weapons. They make swords or like specific, like spears or axes or anything like that. So like it's a challenge. It's a show challenge. And so like the very first thing they have to do, it's stages, right? You get into one stage, you get into another stage. And so like the first one is like, you have to make a knife out of these materials. And it has to be this style.
Damn, that sounds cool as hell.
And so they make it. Yeah, look it up. It's on History Channel. Like you can find videos all over online and everything like that. But they have to make it in their shop, in the shop that the studio provides. And they have all these different things, like to do so. But they do is testing of it, of the.
See, that's the cool part
of the weapons. And so, like, if you make it to the end, so here's the cool thing: you make it to the end, okay, and then they give you like 3 days. So if you're in the final, if you're the last two people, they give you like 3 days to go back home, and they have a special sword that they make you do. Like even if it's like a reproduction or something like that, they're like, okay, you have to use Napoleon's sword, and they show like a replica of it, right?
Oh, wow.
Like it has to have this, and these are the parameters of the sword.
I gotta check this out.
It has to have a guard, right? It has to have a finger guard. It has to have a certain length to the sword, so on and so forth, right? And so they give these people 3 days at their own home forges, right?
Where they got everything at their disposal.
Everything at their disposal. They get to choose what metals they use, like what kind of style, and so it's not.
What are the best metals for that shit?
Mostly alloys, just mix of metals.
So,
but anyways, and so they were, and so at the end they come back and they look at it, right? They look at the aesthetics of it. It's nice. It's a nice looking sword, right? But is it a functional?
That's what I mean. That's what the part I like, where they test them out.
And they test them out and they put them through like different things, like specific things. Like if it's meant to, like if it was a medieval sword, they test it like on piercing of armor.
So specific
of a sword,
what that
or
would
like piercing of armor or a shield. And so they go through like shrink and they go at it. If the sword breaks or if the weapon breaks, disqualified.
Sure.
And so it happens where it's not like it's not hot enough to where it hardens the metal and it just is brittle and just breaks.
Okay.
And so
I've seen some too where they made them too flexible.
Yeah, that's another thing too. Yeah, and like it misshapes, but they give it an opportunity because it hasn't broken. So they give them an opportunity to shape the sword again. Hammer it out and stuff like that. But sometimes again, when they start hammering it out, bing,
just breaks.
Yep.
Metal's weird like that.
Yeah.
Like if it's too much, it'll just snap.
Yeah, if it's hardened too much, yeah. It's like
which makes me think about the chemistry of it, like all those electrons, the way that metal is.
Yeah. But it's a great show, Dolly. I mean, it's not on anymore.
What's it called again?
Forged in Fire.
Forged in Fire.
Yeah.
I've heard of it. I feel like I've heard that name for sure.
But they do things like
check it out.
let's see how fucking sharp the knife is, and they'll cut through like these bamboo shoots.
See, that's the shit I like. I told you I was watching all those Japanese ones where I was like, that shit that they cut through is
And they
crazy.
use ballistic dummies. So it's humans, like they in these gel.
Wow, so they're
ballistic,
very similar.
ballistic
density
gel.
and-
Yeah, so they use ballistic gel, which is the density of like skin and all that stuff, and like organs, and they use like and they're see through, but they have like a skeletal structure.
Oh,
and
I
the
have to watch this.
and the organs in it and everything like
You
that.
can see the damage.
Yeah, and then they do the damage. So it's like the guy that tests them. His name is Doug Marcaida. He's Filipino.
Awesome.
But he's like he's like a knife expert. Like he knows how to use them. Like whoosh, whoosh, like he shows like like quick to go stuff and techniques.
Wow.
But his name is Doug Marcaida, and he does like all the testing. And his signature thing is like once it like does the damage and like pierces the things and kills it. His signature line is he's like, your sword, it will kill. That's what it says.
It will
kill. Yeah.
Oh yeah, interesting. And that's what they want to hear, right?
Yeah.
I mean, success.
Yeah. They want us to hear it. Would
Yeah,
kill.
I'm fascinated with that kind of shit. Just think about weapons in general,
Yeah.
like how they've been manufactured over the years.
But yeah, they do different things on the show. Spears, they have axes, swords.
yeah, like spearfishing is fascinating to me.
Yeah. You're not only just with the weapon, but your coordination as a human, bro. To be able to like get that fucking fish.
Yeah, or like those divers, right?
Yeah.
Spearfish underwater.
Yeah. And that's a whole another technique because now you're trying to force
Those guys that can hold
underwater.
their breath for like 4 damn minutes.
Yeah.
So
Pearl
crazy.
divers.
Yeah.
Pearl divers did that. Yeah.
Yeah, dude, that's so crazy.
They also say, but again, I don't believe this list because again, the availability of ammo. They say pump action shotgun is a good one. Obviously, a shotgun is going to spread
Oh, so
and do the most damage.
Okay, so back
Yeah.
to the original
Back to the
question.
original
of
question, yeah.
Weapon you would want to have.
Yeah. Crossbow.
in a zombie apocalypse.
Again, I'm not on with the crossbow because again, you just fucking have to load that thing, right? Every single fucking shot. Click. Zombies are running at you. You're not going to click.
Yeah, you don't have time, bro. You're not gonna have that leisure.
Mine's on here is the baseball bat's on here too, and then the fire axe. That's what I was saying. That kind of axe, like a fireman's axe, where it's designed to like, has the pick at the end and the blade at the front too.
Yeah.
So it's designed to do like a couple of different things.
Right.
Yeah.
What was your answer on the sleep? What would you do? Oh, learning.
Yeah. Learning.
That's right.
Yeah.
You would learn shit. We often think we are those people that don't need sleep. The sleepless elite. Do you still think you are one? What do you think?
I mean, I think I still am one because I can still, because again, prime example, Tuesday night, we're out partying till 3:30 in the morning. I had to wake up at 7.
Yeah, that's what I mean. But sometimes I wonder if that's just dudes from our generation. You know what I mean? That we just push through, because what ruined it for me is I don't know that I thought I was one of those, but I thought I'm fine. My sleep is fine.
Yeah.
Until I got the Aura ring and then just realized I'm like, damn, I never sleep
Well,
enough.
maybe it puts
I
that
sleep
in
like
your
shit.
head, bro. Maybe the Aura ring.
Okay, that's weird that you say that, because so I have it on right now. I
Yep.
just recently started wearing it a few days ago. I stopped wearing it.
Yeah, for a while.
Yeah, because it was stressing me the fuck out.
Yeah.
My family kind of intervened. They were like, take it off.
Yeah.
And they bought it for me.
Yeah, I know.
They bought it for me as a gift.
Yeah.
And knowing I'm just like that. I'm OCD. I like to track shit. But it's just one of it was like this elusive goal that
Yeah.
I just could not. I still can't.
Yeah. So is it messing with you? Is that what you think?
I've just been I just take it with a grain of salt. Some days I forget to even pull it up and look at what it was,
Yeah.
but I have it on all the time. That's the other thing I wonder is it bad? It's got all these weird little trackers in it that's on your hand all the time. Like, should that be up against my skin 24/7? Like, I don't know.
I've heard people say like the watch, like their watches burn them.
Like an Apple Watch, or
Yeah, like they said like the heat or something on them.
do you
burns
have an
them.
Apple? What do you got there? Not an
The
Apple Watch,
Samsung.
obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, same thing though. Same basic one.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's not a basic one. It's not, nice watch.
Yeah, mine's basic as fuck.
So
This is the whatever they're on right now. It's half that number.
but no, like I've heard people say that it burns their wrists or something like the heat. I don't know.
Huh.
I mean,
Yeah,
just
I don't know.
it is technology, right? It'll get hot with
Sure.
use and stuff like that.
Oh, dude, you know what? This thing with, have you seen? I'm sure you've seen this trend now. of kids sticking pencils in USB ports of computers.
What?
Have you not seen this online?
No, dude.
It
What
makes
the
them
hell is
smoke. So they put
What?
like graphite from like mechanical pencils or even a regular pencil. If you stick it in the USB port in a certain way and like stick it into
To touch
touching
the metal.
something,
Yeah,
it starts smoking, right?
What?
So we talked about it in our leadership meeting, and we were like, don't mention this to the kids, but we might start seeing this next fucking day, bro.
What?
I was coming out of the restroom and I heard a teacher talking to a student outside and was like, I just find it really weird that all of a sudden this is just out of nowhere your computer's smoking, you don't know why.
Yeah.
At the same time that there's this weird trend. And I came out and she was like, Mr. Dollar, don't you think that's kind of odd timing? And I was like, yeah, for sure, bro. Here we go. So they're about to start destroying shit. I don't know what it is with middle school kids, dude, that they just destroy everything they touch. It's unbelievable. Like, I told you about the stapler at the beginning of this show, right? Dude, do you know how many fucking protractors I've broken this year?
Yeah,
like,
I'm sure.
1,000. They just crack them left and right in ways you don't even know how. You're like,
You need a
how
metal
did you
one.
break
You need
that
a
part
metal
off?
one.
Huh?
Oh, are you talking about a compass?
No, I'm not talking about a compass. I'm
Oh,
talking
the
about
protractor ones.
No,
Wait.
no, protractor like the one that's shaped like
ruler.
a rainbow.
Yeah, the ruler.
Yeah,
But
essentially.
you get metal ones? You get metal ones, dollar.
You know, on my big ass budget that I've got, bro.
I guess true.
Yeah.
I guess it's true.
Everything I get, most of the stuff I get on my own from like Donors Choose. That's been a big help for me every year.
We've done that before too.
Yeah, for sure. Everyone's always so. Thank you to everybody out there that gives for those donor chooses because that's super super helpful. But that's a thing for teachers that's really great, where you can just say, "Hey, I got this project. I'm trying to get these things," and then people just donate money, and then you get on this website where a bunch of people can see it and they donate. So I'm thankful for that. But it is remarkable just how much shit
They
kids break. I don't even understand. Pencils.
Yeah.
Just broken pencils left and right, dude. And some of it's straight up malicious, bad shit, where they're like, just shredding stuff, just breaking. There's those kids.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of them, but there's some kids that are they just like to do damage. Just like to break shit and, see people's reactions and whatever. But the big one for me this year has been the stapler, motherfuckers, dude. I love a good stapler. And
Tell you got to get the one with the handle.
I know. I'm going to need a monster one for next year. I'm excited. I'm going to nerd out next year because I'm just teaching, dude.
Yeah.
I'm not managing people. I'm not managing teams. I'm not presenting to the school. I'm not in charge of the whole math department. None of it.
Yeah.
I'm just going to go in and teach 8th graders math.
There you go.
I'm going to have so much fun next year. I'm so excited. Just to have fun again,
Yeah.
It's funny when you get into leadership, no matter what business you're in or what industry you're in.
Yep.
I think when you get in, you just get so hyper focused on making everything run smoothly that you sometimes lose track of the actual thing that you're doing, like the actual reason that you do what you do or what you enjoy about it or why it's fulfilling,
Yeah. Well, I think it's what happens is that added aspect of managing people, right? That you're taken away from one thing to try to do another thing. It's the fill in your jar dollar.
Yeah, I know. And well, that's the way I'm wired, bro.
Yeah.
And when I do something, I'm a perfectionist. I like to do it right. I like to cover all the bases. I want all the thought and the pre-planning to go into it. I want to execute it well.
Yeah.
I want to practice. And being a teacher, there's already not enough time to do that. And then if you're a teacher, but then also you're managing other teachers and doing all this other shit, it's exactly what you said.
Yeah.
You're like, it just pulls you away. I felt like I did 1,000 different things this year, half-ass all of them.
Yeah.
Just all of them. All of them are 50% of what they could have been because I couldn't deep dive on one thing. And that's just how it is. But it's funny, I've always done that to myself because since high school, bro, I've always had 75 plates in the air at any given moment. But I am very excited about summer. This summer's coming. I'm going to do some camping. And I just got great news. So at the end of the school year, the school year ends, right?
Yeah.
Students are done, teachers are done. Every year I'm in leadership. So there's about a week and a half after that. And then sometimes there's them impromptu days that get
That you have to
on
go
there or
into.
whatever. Yeah, because you're planning for the next year and you have these documents you have to get all fucking filled out for the district and all this kind of stuff. And so for the longest time, I was like, I'm not going. They can ask me a million times. I'm not going. I'm not going to be there next year. That's what I was saying in my head. I didn't say that out loud to anybody. Sorry about that, boss. But at a certain point, I talked to my wife about it, and she was like, "No, honey, you have to do that because it's part of your year." And I was like, we had this conversation about it, and I was like, "Fuck, I'm going to do it." And then this week in our leadership meeting, they basically said, "By the way, you're done after the last day because you're not coming back."
Yeah.
So I don't have to go. So I'm done like the
naturally,
2nd of June.
Nice.
2nd of June. I'm going to get a full, that's what they were all saying. Like, wow, you're going to get a full summer dollar. What are you going to do with it?
Yeah.
And like, well deserved. I'm like, fuck yeah, this shit's overdue. It's overdue. It's funny how you lose track of enjoying life when you get too much into pursuing things and goals. It's great to have goals. It's great to grow and to succeed and to learn things and to get better, pick up new skills. But you got to breathe and barbecue once in a while. You got to fucking chill. You got to have time with your friends. Record podcasts every week.
Go out to shows, dollar.
Go out to shows. Play some shows.
Yeah.
All of the above, dude.
There you go, dude.
Fucking put an album out.
Exciting.
Exciting. I'm excited to have balance. It's funny how you really appreciate something when you haven't had it for a while.
Yeah.
And this concludes our review of Luigi's Pizza this week. Trying out some different songs. Thanks for bearing with us. Baron Von Pierce, another one in the bag, episode 231.
Yes. I got reached out by Dom, by the way. He does want to get onto the show here real soon this month. So
let's go.
We'll get him on the books and get him in here. And
Fuck yeah.
Yeah. Exciting stuff coming up, dollar. And with that, it is a wrap.
Cheers.